Hi, my name is Randall Bloomquist, and today I'm going to be talking to you about predicting home values in San Antonio, Texas. So here's an outline of what I'm going to go through today. The first thing I'm going to look at is some of the challenges that come about when trying to predict sale prices of homes. I'm going to go into the data that I used. I'm going to look at correlations and feature importance in the data. I'm going to look at the model performance, my model of predicting sale prices, and I'm going to go through a demo of my Flask app. So some of the main challenges in predicting sale prices. First thing is that home buyers are unpredictable. Buying a house is an emotional process, and so that can affect things like a regression model like I use here. Not all the factors can be captured by the data, so things like a funky layout or weird color scheme, things like a bad street, all those things can't be really captured in this data set. Also, home conditions are not currently accounted for. And there's a high correlation between some of the features, which I'll talk about in a second. So looking at the data, it came from redfin.com. It's over 18,000 sold homes past 3 years in 176 neighborhoods in San Antonio, Texas. And here are some of the homes in the data set. Some of the important features were the square feet of the house, how many the rooms feature is the number of bedrooms plus the number of bathrooms in the house. The year the house was built, the size of the lot, the neighborhood, and the month and the year that it was sold. So some of the correlations, this graph basically just shows the correlations between features. The warmer colors more positively correlated. Some things to look at here are how rooms are correlated with price and how square feet are correlated with price, as well as how those two are correlated with each other. So you can see both rooms and square feet are pretty high predictors of what that price value will end up being. So some of the feature importance is, so I took out square feet because square feet and the number of rooms were so highly correlated. So looking at the next set of features, rooms is the next most important feature. And then we also have lot size and latitude and longitude. And these feature importances were pulled from my random forest regression model. So looking at the model performance, there's two different ways that I measured my performance. I looked at R-squared values, and then I also looked at a metric that Zillow uses to measure their model, the estimate, and that is what percentage of their predictions were within 5, 10, and 20% of that final sale price. And a couple things to note. One, my model predicts better without outliers, which makes sense. 95% of the homes sold were under $500,000. So we get a higher R-squared value when only looking at those homes. We also see that just using 3 features alone, we can get similar R-squared performance as my full model. So my performance, I had 50% of my predictions were within 5% of the final sale price, about 72% were within 10%, and 89% were within 20%. Seems like a pretty good model when you first look at it, but comparing it to Zillow's Zestimate model, they outperformed by quite a bit. About 88% of their predictions are within 5% of that sale price, and then 96 and 99 were in those 10 and 20% categories. One thing to note about their model is that they use the list price in their model to predict the sale price. And so I think that helps their accuracy quite a bit. Some of the future work that I want to look into is I want to attempt to make considerations for the house condition, maybe have different tiers for different conditions of the house. I want to investigate using listed prices or appraised values as features in my model. And then also want to look at exploring neural networks for training a regression model. So real quick, I'll look at my Flask app. So here's a house in San Antonio, 243 Craigmont Lane. It's a 3-2. The neighborhood is actually not in the list of neighborhoods. So we'll put NA, have zip code, square feet, year built, and lot size. So our prediction is about 179 for that sale price. And looking at the Zillow estimate, their estimate is quite a bit higher. And something also to note about this is that home prices have gone up pretty substantially within the last 3 to 6 months because of how hot the market is. But the sale price, the estimated price, is between their estimate and the tax assessment. So it's a fairly good model. I have another house here, 9302 WK Drive. It's a 4-3. It's in Macarthur Park. about 1,900 square feet, 8,700 foot lot. And our prediction for this house is about 207,000. We see here that they're trying to sell it for quite a bit more. The estimate is quite a bit higher. But if we looked at the tax assessed value for this one as well, it's about 192. So this house has not been sold yet. So this suggests that they may have priced it a little too high, and you can see they've already had to cut the price by about $4,000. Pretty good model on that one as well. All right, well, thank you for your time. If you have any further questions, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn on GitHub. Thank you.